All right, the college football playoff is expanding to 12 teams. The College Football Playoff Board of Managers met today, and they voted unanimously to triple the number of eligible teams. The new format includes first-round byes for the top 4 seeds and games on college campuses for the first time in the event's history. The changes will not go into effect until 2026, but the board is encouraging the sports commissioners to assess if it could start sooner, as early as 2024. ESPN currently has the broadcast rights for the 4-team college football playoff through 26. So this is an interesting change that they made here, Shauna, because a lot of people have been complaining about the college football playoff for years. I'm one who believes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There are very often not enough teams that are quality enough to win a national championship. I understand what this is all about. It is a money grab. Let's just acknowledge it. That's what college sports are today. And frankly, you could argue that the bowl system we have currently is busted. It is broken. There are way too many bowl games. Most of them no one cares about. It's strictly an ESPN play. But 12 teams, you're going to be very hard-pressed to argue for their eligibility to win a national title. I love the idea of college games. Just afraid you're watering this down.
Yeah, I agree with you totally that this is all just a revenue play here for the schools. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. Also, the reaction that we will likely get here from a number of coaches, also from a number of players in this space. And Josh Schafer, we want to bring you in on this, and certainly an interesting move here and the implications for college sports just in terms of the football season and everything, what that could look like going forward.
The biggest thing here, guys, and Dave, maybe you have a point that there might not be 12 teams every year that deserve a spot.
They're not 8. They're not 6.
Sure. We could debate that for the next hour. No, we couldn't. This is amazing for college campuses. That's what the takeaway is. Yeah. Imagine if you were at a Clemson, maybe one of the schools, when you look at the 4 through 12 too, right? That's going to be more of like your Wisconsins of the world, the Penn State, like the second best team in the Big Ten is going to be who ends up hosting this game. That's a lot of revenue that these schools can now generate through ticketing, and it's another competitive game that fans will get to see. I think it's a good part of the product. Is one of those seeds, 5 through 12, going to win a national championship? That remains to be seen, Dave, for sure.
And how do you impact the college football schedule in terms of not changing the current structure we have? There's going to be a lot of changes. And perhaps we could allow some of the smaller schools, mid-majors, to sneak their way into that, which has been great for college basketball. So there could be some positive influences here, Shauna.
All right, well, that big money is influencing other parts of the college sports industry, including stadium renovations. Our Josh Schafer is still here with us as we talk about some of the changes that we've seen in this space, because it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, Shauna, so this is something I've been following for a little while now in terms of the declining attendance, right? We've seen attendance decline in the NCAA for about 7 years now, and it hit an all-time low since 1981 last year. You can see that graph there. That's not good. We show a lot of graphs on this show. You know that that's not a good graph when you're looking at attendance, right? And it kind of goes straight down, right? So the question is, what do you do if you're an athletic director? How do you sort of combat this? And the response has been, well, we can maybe use the space a little bit better. For the longest time in college sports, it was all about having these big stadiums, all those fans in there. I want more than 100,000 fans because that's an impressive number, right? But that's not necessarily how you generate money, especially if you're not getting the interest you used to get at the gate. And so take a school like Wisconsin, which has had a lot of declining gate over the last several years. They have a famous stadium, over 100 years old, Camp Randall Stadium. What did they do? They took out about 5,000 seats. And so now you go from 80,000 to 75,000, but look at that number all the way on the right. $3.5 million in revenue is what they're expecting to go up, and it's because of what they're adding. They're adding luxury seating. We had one of the companies on last week with us, Dave, the four top seats. Where you can sit there, you have your beer. It's more of a luxury experience. That's where this is shifting. And I think it's very interesting to kind of see things going that way. Okay, maybe we don't need all these fans. How can we monetize them in a different way?
Yeah, and in particular, the big donors that are giving all this NIL money to these collectives, those are the ones who want to fork over money, who want to have room, who want to spend and have a cocktail. So it really almost fits right hand in hand with what's happening in NIL as well.
Yeah, and it's crazy how much money these schools are going to be making from that. You mentioned big donors and how much those people are willing to spend. Clemson, for instance, is adding only 680 seats in this premium space, you can see here, this is what the mock-up looked like. Those 680 seats are going to pay for a 7,000 square foot Jumbotron that's up. They're going to make enough money off 680 seats year after year that it will pay for itself for the rest of the renovation they're doing. For a $65 million renovation, they're going to pay for all of it by putting 680 people in there.
I'll be really curious I don't know if you guys have been to Coors Field, but they took out thousands of seats, and what they did is make it a big party deck for people to stand around. There are no seats, and it's easily the most popular section in the stadium. That really fits what college kids want today too. So you got to get creative. When we looked at that chart you showed with a severe dip.
Absolutely.
Rochelle?
So, Dave, just a quick question about your shirt. Obviously, you're wearing it for a special reason, not Casual Friday. So tell us more about who you're repping.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a Casual Friday for me, but it is College Colors Day, and I actually was hoping everyone would get involved, but apparently
Lehigh has it's brown
colors.
and white, so it was a little limiting.
So I'm a Colorado buff.
I have mine. I didn't leave you hanging.
Oh, you have yours on as well?
I didn't leave you hanging. Look.
Okay, let me see.
I got my sweatshirt here, my Howard sweatshirt.
Oh, that's not fair. Michelle could have got that in the commercial break. That's not fair.
Throw it on.
And then for my daughter. For my daughter when she
that's
wants to go to Howard too.
How about you, Josh? Did you get the memo today?
I left
No, 'cause
my
you're white.
Auto the
Yeah.
Orange at home. I got no orange on today. Sorry, Dave.
Well, if you're wondering, the Buffs, my alma mater, they play tonight against TCU at 10 o'clock on ESPN if anyone wants to watch.
That's a late night.
Happy College Colors Day, everybody. Good to see you, Josh Schafer.